Hello everybody, my name is James, hope you're doing well and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about key updates from sprint qualifying in China as well as an issue for Mercedes. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more Formula 1 content. Also make sure to follow me on Instagram and X at James's Pit Lane. I'll leave links in the description, but let's jump straight into the video. Now, it's fully expected that Mercedes would carry over their strong performance from Melbourne to China this weekend, and that's exactly what happened. The car looks the fastest on the grid. It looks to have the best chassis, and well, like in Melbourne, George Russell looked a step ahead of everyone else. He just looks so comfortable in that Mercedes, and he took a dominant sprint pole. I mean, it was a really good lap from Russell, and he was comfortably ahead of his teammate Kimi Antonelli in P2. And Mercedes' pace is quite something. They are just in a league of their own right now. I mean, in Melbourne, we saw George Russell's pole time be so far ahead of third place Isaac Hadjar. And here in the China sprint qualifying, Russell's pole time is 0.6 faster than Lando Norris in the McLaren in P3. And speaking about taking sprint pole, Russell said the car has been feeling amazing. We knew after Melbourne we had a really good car. The engine is performing really well, and today it was a real joy to drive. I'm intrigued to know what the lap times are compared to last year, because it felt very quick, really cool, and very different to Melbourne. Now, one team I was surprised at was Ferrari. They looked to be good in the early stages of sprint qualifying, not that far off the pace of Mercedes when they were all on medium tyres. However, when they went to softs, Ferrari were just not there. I mean, Lewis Hamilton went fourth fastest, 0.6 off Russell's fastest time, and Charles Leclerc was down in P6, over a second off the fastest lap. Now, Ferrari actually made a major change ahead of sprint qualifying. As we know, in pre-season testing, one time Ferrari introduced a rear wing design that rotated upside down on the straights, and the unique design was a real talking point, but it wasn't seen again until China, with them running it in free practice 1. However, for sprint qualifying, Ferrari did not use that rear wing design. They went back to the more standard DRS style opening of the rear wing flap. So why was that? Well, Ted Kravitz from Sky F1 said, "We were all excited about the Ferrari rear wing, but it was inevitable they would take it off. They are not running it for the rest of the weekend, not because they think it gives them 5 km/h more speed in a straight line, but they are not sure it is reliable enough to make it through the rest of the weekend. A lot of load goes through it as it flips, but they are not 100% certain it will be reliable." And while there was an instance in free practice 1 where Hamilton on the brakes had a massive spin after closing that upside down rear wing. But still, I was surprised at Ferrari's lack of pace in sprint qualifying. However, they could start the sprint race higher up the grid, with Kimi Antonelli facing a penalty. Basically, during SQ2, the Mercedes driver was cruising through the first corner as Lando Norris reached the apex soon after a push lap, and Norris had to take evasive action, but it cost him his lap, having to go around again, and he was immediately on the radio to point out the incident, with race control soon noting the near miss, and it was soon upgraded to a post-session investigation. Now, for me, Antonelli will get a penalty for this incident. I mean, Norris was on a hot lap, he was approaching turn 1 really fast, and Antonelli was just on the racing line. So yeah, I think Antonelli and the Mercedes will be facing a grid drop. Now, the standard penalty, if found guilty, would be a 3-place grid drop for the sprint. However, if the stewards deem it to be particularly dangerous, Antonelli could be pushed back 5 positions on the grid, but it will likely be the former, as it was not an intentional case of blocking. Now, there was also an incident involving Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen. Now, I thought Alpine did a lot better this weekend. I mean, in Melbourne, the team were nowhere, but in China, Pierre Gasly got into SQ3, so that's really good from Alpine. However, as I say, there was an incident involving Verstappen. Basically, Verstappen was on a hot lap in the second qualifying session when he encountered a slow-moving Gasly in his Alpine out of the final chicane, and Verstappen was forced into a sharp evasive manoeuvre in his Red Bull, and Verstappen was not happy about it, with him saying on the radio, "The Alpine is on the racing line out of the last hairpin, it's ridiculous," and the stewards soon confirmed they would be investigating after the session, and if found guilty, Gasly, who reached SQ3, will be handed a 3-place grid penalty, and well, I think Gasly will be facing a grid penalty for that incident as well. Now, just very quickly on Red Bull, I was really surprised at their pace. I mean, Verstappen P8, his teammate Isaac Hadjar in P10. What happened to Red Bull? I mean, Hadjar was qualifying third in Melbourne. Now the team just have no pace in China. So it'll be interesting to see if they can fix this as the weekend goes on. But that's going to be the video from me today. Thank you ever so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos. And until the next one, take care